Good morning, everybody. Today we are going to be working on a zipper bag straw holder, Green Roof Farms DIY. Thank you for joining us today. So there are printable directions that I'm going to be working from, and we're going to be working on the 4x4 at first. And so the 4x4 does require two different hoopings. You're going to cut one piece of fabric per the instructions, get it hooped, and that's what we're going to make our main design on. And there's going to be a second hooping, and that second hooping is what is going to actually bring all the pieces together. If you're doing it on a domestic sewing embroidery combo machine, then you do have a sewing feature within your machine. And this bag in the 4x4 size and the 5x7 size does require you to close your ends with your sewing machine. So there are directions for that within the instructions. And then there is one more piece of fabric. So you'll have two pieces of fabric that we're going to be working with to build the top side. And then you'll have one long piece that we put on the back side. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So get your directions printed out and I will walk you through step by step on how to make this very adorable zipper bag for a straw. Alright, the first step that we're going to do is load our design, and this is where the design is the metal straw and the picture of the soda pop bottle with the straw in it, and this is going to be the main design for the project. Make sure you have enough bobbin thread in there, and I have my Filtech MagnaGlide in there. I'm going to go ahead and use that. Those are for sale in an assortment pack on shop.greenrooffarmsdiy.com, and the pack that I have out there on the website includes the spacer that allows it to go into one of these sewing embroidery combo machines by Brother. And it comes with 25 different colors of the MagnaGlide Magna Quilt, so it's a cotton thread that I put in there, but it does work on the polyester as well. Alright, the first thing we do is we go ahead and we put our hoop down in there, and then we start our design. So you want to make sure you have enough bobbin thread, and you want to make sure that you have nothing that is going to be around this machine to impede its performance. And now it's going to go ahead and stitch up. I chose to do this all in one color. I'm going to use my variegated thread. Alright, so we are all done with this. I'm going to go ahead and pull my hoop out. And the design is all done, so you can see it there. This is metal straw, and the reason I put it further down is so that way I can get the zipper. I'm going to be putting a zipper in the next hooping in and attaching this to it, and that gives me the length that I need for making the straw holder. Alright, so now it's time to go ahead and hoop the second hooping that will be in this design file, which is hoop B. Alright, I have my hoop B file loaded, and I'm going to follow my directions. And down at the bottom it talks you through how to do the 4x4 and the 5x7. So I simply take, my panel for the lower portion and just put it to the side. And I'm going to go ahead and start on the top panel. And the first step is to stitch my placement lines. So what you're going to see are the placement lines. This lets you know where to put the zipper. And this is the time to find a zipper that's going to fit within this. You do not want to use a metal zipper. That's not something you want to use within this design. You want to use a plastic zipper. I tape real quick. Alright, I went ahead and taped in my 4-inch zipper. And I'm going to go ahead and let it stitch out now. So what it's going to do is it's going to go ahead and it's going to tack down. Alright, so I got the zipper all done, and I'll try to get up there and just show a picture of that so you can see the zipper's been sewn down on both sides so that way it can open and close. And now we're going to go on to the next sequence. So the next sequence is going to be putting the fabric for the bottom panel onto the zipper area. So I'm going to go ahead and trim off my extra stabilizer right now. Alright, so we're simply just going to put our fabric along the top, and I'll get out of the camera way in a second. I'm just going to tape this in place. I'm just taping that in. I'm going to return it back to the arms, lower my presser foot, and let it stitch out the top. Alright, so we're back on track. This is the straight stitch that's going to stitch this fabric down on the top of the panel. And once you're done with this, you can go ahead. You got two options. You have your zipper foot, or your zipper in, and so you have your panel done essentially, and you can actually just put another straight piece of fabric to cover it and go to your sewing machine and then sew all the way around your edges. If you do the final stitch on this, it's going to put that top stitch in right there, and then it's going to do just a little bit of a straight stitch for you just to give you a guideline. But really at this point I just take it over to the sewing machine and then put the fabric piece on top and then sew it all together, which I'll go show you right now. And then it's going to give you some side lines, just a little bit of a guideline on where you're going to be sewing when you get onto the sewing machine. So you can do that last step on the embroidery machine, or you can just do it in your sewing machine. Alright, so now it's time to attach the back to the front, and I moved the zipper partway in and I cut another piece of fabric that's basically going to go face down, and I'm going to just do a nice seam allowance all the way around, and I'm going to totally close off this rectangle because the zipper's in the back side. It's pulled to the middle, so I'm able to just flip it inside out very easily. So all I'm going to do is come to my sewing machine, and I'm going to turn it upside down so I can kind of see the back side and follow my guidelines that are right here, and I'm just going to sew all the way around, closing that off. Alright, I went ahead and sewed this so it is totally closed off. I'm going to snip my corners. I'm not going to cut that point right there. I'm going to cut just on the other side. This allows it to flip a little easier. And then I can also trim off some of the extra fabric if I wanted. Since this is going to be seen on the inside, you can also zigzag stitch it. There's a zipper right there. If you're making this and you get real nervous about the metal pieces on the zipper, use a zipper that's much longer than the project so those pieces are way off outside of the hoop. Just make sure you turn, or you put your zipper to the middle. Alright, so now all I'm going to do is I'm going to snip the stabilizer out of the way. My zipper is already right there. I'm going to just continue to open up my zipper, and then I'm able to grab all of my fabric, flip it, grab it from the top, flip it, and then I'll work my corners out, and then I'll press it. And then you have the option to top stitch all the way around if you want, but that is how you make the metal straw little zipper pouch. This would fit a long straw as well as a short straw within it. And you can make this as long as you want, since if you have a super long straw, you might want to actually make it a little bit longer. But this will fit the nice small ones, and let's say you only need a small one, you could always install like a little cam snap to the back and snap that, you know, have a little snap on the inside. So then it's just a small little pouch for a small straw if it's just going in a children's cup. Alright, thank you for watching today. The final step would be just to press it and top stitch it if you want to top stitch it. Have a great day. Thanks for subscribing to the YouTube channel for Greener Farms DIY. And all the embroidery designs are on shop.greenerfarmsdiy.com. Have a great day.